In the last class, we were discussing about inhibition. So, as we all know, that inhibition is the material or a substance, anything you can call that, maybe a chemical or maybe a biological material, which tend to reduce the rate of enzyme catalyzed reaction. That means it will reduce the rate of enzyme catalyzed reaction. As we are discussing about inhibitors, then we started with slowly with competitive inhibition. So competitive inhibitions, as the name suggests, it means there will be a competition between the substrate and the inhibitors. That's a very important. So there will be a huge competition happens, but the competition depends on number of substrate and number of inhibitors. If inhibitors are more, then inhibitors will take. It will inhibit the process. If substrates are more, that means the substrates can reduce the effect of inhibitors. So it's a reversible process. It's possible to reverse the entire process. So it will come under the category of reversible inhibitions. So from that, we slowly move to the next part. So that's the important thing. First one was the competitive. The second one is a non-competitive, and the third one is uncompetitive. So there is a huge difference between the competitive, uncompetitive, and non-competitive mechanisms. So before starting all these things, when we start thinking about inhibition, so three important things we should remember. One is the mechanism of inhibition. So you can put it in a simple one term. That is the one thing you should remember. What is inhibition? How exactly it inhibits the process. The second thing is you should remember a Michaeli-Menten equation. Michaeli-Menten equation, the basic equation you should remember, not the equation for inhibitions, but the basic equation for enzyme substrate reaction you should remember. And the third thing you should remember is the Lineweaver-Burke modification of the equation. How that scientists or the enzymologists modified that equation as per the requirement to convert the rectangular hyperbolic curve into a straight line. So that's the important part. So the first thing is the mechanism of enzyme action or the inhibitor action. And second thing is the basic Michaeli-Menten equation. And third thing is LW or the Lineweaver-Burke plot modification. So three things you should remember. So how they converted Michaeli-Menten equation into Lineweaver-Burke equation, you know now. It's just a simple inversion. So all those things, the basic thing you should remember. So we'll move towards the second inhibition, that is a non-competitive inhibitions. So if you compare non-competitive inhibitor or inhibition process with a competitive inhibitor or inhibition process, so there is they are same, but they are different. In a way of inhibition, they are same, but the process or the mechanism of inhibition is different. Because the purpose of competitive inhibition and non-competitive inhibition is same, to reduce the rate of enzyme catalyzed reaction or reduce the speed of enzyme catalyzed reaction. The motto is same, but the thing is the process, the mechanism is different. There, enzyme will compete with the substrate and form enzyme inhibitor complex or enzyme substrate inhibitor complex. But here it is not that much. So here, this type of inhibition, that is a non-competitive inhibition, employs inhibitor that do not resemble the substrate. They are not mimicking molecule of substrate. They are an entirely different molecule. I hope you can see here. There is a normal substrate which I mentioned in yellow color. There is an inhibitor that is in blue color. You look at both the substrate as well as inhibitor. They are not looking similar. They are different in shape. They are not mimicking molecule. They are not doing any biological or molecular mimicry. So that means there is no resemblance between those two things. That is substrate and inhibitor. So what happens here? It will bind to the site other than the active site. So here substrate is binding to active site and inhibitor is binding some other site. That's very important. But in case of competitive inhibition, both are binding to the active site. So there will be a competition for one site. Here that is not the case. Here two sites are there. Anyhow, whether substrate is bound or not, it doesn't matter. It will go and bind to the another site because site is different. So this type of inhibition employs inhibitors that do not resemble the substrate and bind not to the active site, but rather to a separate site on the enzyme. That's very important. You should think. It is not binding to the active site, but it is binding to the site other than the active sites. So because of this, what is happening? The Km is constant here, but the Vmax is reduced. That means this inhibitor is not doing anything with the affinity of the substrate with the enzyme. So that means The Km, there is no change in Km, whether Km is increasing or Km is decreasing. No, as it is constant, so there won't be any change in the interaction between the enzyme and substrate. Enzyme and substrate interaction will literally happen here, but there won't be any speed in the reaction. That's very important. There won't be any speed in the reaction. That means the reaction will start. The enzyme substrate complex will start forming, but there won't be any product in there. That's very important thing, right? The product formation is important in the enzymatic reaction. If no products are formed, what is the purpose of entire reaction? So that question will arise in our mind, right, when we talk about inhibition process. So here, the enzyme substrate formation, there is no barrier, but the speed of the reaction or the product formation will be inhibited. So Km is the Michaelis-Menten constant, or Km is constant, and Vmax is reduced. That means the initial maximum velocity is reduced. That's the important thing here. So inhibitors are binding other side, that means other than the active side. Inhibitors are not resembling the substrate. Km is constant, Vmax is reduced. This is the basic concept you should remember when we talk about a non-competitive inhibitors or inhibition reactions. So what is the example for this? So that example you should remember. One example I'm putting here, that is a pepsin inhibition by pepstatin. A molecule called, biological molecule called pepstatin, which can inhibit pepsin by this mechanism. And then another enzyme in biological system, that is acid phosphatase, that can be inhibited by ethanol in the same mechanism. There are other examples of, you can take any examples. I quoted only two. There are different examples of different enzymes, maybe in the human being or maybe in the other system, biological system. You can collect and you can write it, but the mechanism should be non-competitive. So don't get confused between the non-competitive and non-competitive. Mechanism should be non-competitive. It should not be competitive and non-competitive. So the examples are pepsin inhibition by pepstatin, acid phosphatase inhibition by ethanol. So any example you can take. But you look at the reaction, what is happening here? Enzyme is reacting substrate and forming enzyme substrate complex. So that's what I told. Inhibitors are not resembling. Inhibitors can bind the enzyme because it is binding to some other side. So Km is constant. That means enzyme substrate complex formation, there is no hindrance or there is no barriers. So as usual, it will form the enzyme substrate complex. The same thing you can see here. It is forming enzyme substrate complex. That means the K1, that means rate constant. Then K2 enzyme will form the product. But in presence of inhibitor, so what happens? Inhibitor can bind enzyme. This inhibitor enzyme complex can bind substrate, and it can form enzyme substrate inhibitor complex, ESI, enzyme substrate inhibitor complex, because enzyme has got a separate site for inhibitor. And enzyme substrate can form enzyme substrate complex. It can bind inhibitors and it can also form ESI. That means E plus S can form ES, which can bind EI, so it can form ESI. Or else E can bind I and form EI, which can bind S and form ESI. Any possibility. That means any angle you think, either from the angle of enzyme, a pure enzyme, or you think from the angle of enzyme substrate complex, both the possibilities are. That means at both the end, you won't get a product. Instead of the enzyme substrate initiator complex it forms, it reduces the Vmax. That's the important thing you should remember here. So you plot any graph here, you will get a low Vmax. That means the initial maximum velocity is lower here. Only the Km the affinity is maintained same between the substrate and the enzyme. Those two things you should remember here. So enzyme reacts with substrate and forms enzyme substrate complex, and enzyme substrate complex forms product. That is a normal reaction. But if inhibitors are there, means so inhibitor can form EI, enzyme inhibitor complex, plus substrate it can bind and form ESI, that is enzyme substrate inhibitor complex, or else enzyme can bind to substrate and form enzyme substrate, which can bind inhibitor and form enzyme substrate inhibitor complex. So all the possibilities you should think when we talk about a non-competitive inhibition. We'll go a little further. So I told about two examples. One is pepsin inhibition by pepstatin, acid phosphatase inhibition by ethanol. So if you plot a graph, commonly in enzymology, if you think about a first order kinetics, you can plot a graph because there will be a y-axis, there will be x-axis. That means what we are doing is we are taking rate of a reaction versus anything, maybe a substrate complex concentration or maybe pH or anything you can plot a graph. So here we are taking a substrate concentration because all these reaction will come under interaction of substrate with enzyme in the presence of inhibitor, right? So we are plotting the rate of a reaction V naught versus S naught or V versus S, any possibilities you can. If you look at this graph, what you can see is there is a normal reaction. That means no inhibitor, a normal reaction. Enzyme reacting with substrate and forming the products. It is a normal rectangular hyperbolic curve. So it has got a Vmax, it has got a Km. So there is no change in Km, there is no change in Vmax, a normal thing. But you look at, there is a pink line, a pink graph, which has got a lower curve for rectangular hyperbolic. If you look at the degree of hyperbolic curve, it is lower, a bit lower. That means the Vmax is reduced. Vmax is decreased. You can see the difference. I will mention in the pink graph, the Vmax difference. Initial maximum velocity here, then the maximum velocity here. So that difference is the decreased amount of initial maximum velocity. So there is a difference in the Vmax, but there is no difference in the Km. You look at here, half Vmax is, when V naught is half Vmax, Km is S naught. So that equation you remember, when V naught is half Vmax, Km is S naught. So if you plot half Vmax, you will get a Km. So Km is same for both. There is no change in Km. So only our Vmax will change. So if you plot V naught versus S naught, you will get a rectangular hyperbolic curve in normal reaction. You will get a rectangular hyperbolic curve even in non-competitive enzymatic reaction, but competitive inhibition enzymatic reaction. But the problem is there is a change in Vmax, but there is no change in Km. I hope for you it's clear. So there is no change in Km, only change in Vmax. You take this thing, and if you go further, that is this part is very important. So what you have to do is, now you take one sheet of paper. Yeah, please, all of you take one sheet of paper. Then write a Michaeli-Menten equation. V naught is equal to Vmax into S naught divided by Km plus S naught. You take this equation. You write down this equation. V naught is equal to Vmax into S naught divided by Km plus S naught. Then what you have to do is, you have to change only one thing here in case of what you call non-competitive inhibition. So there will be a change in Vmax. So V dash max, instead of mentioning Vmax, we mention is V dash max or apparent Vmax also we can call. We don't generally call apparent Vmax, we call V dash max. So that means Vmax divided by 1 plus I by Ki. What is that 1 plus I by Ki? That is the rate constant equation for enzyme inhibitor complex or enzyme substrate inhibitor complex. So V dash max means Vmax divided by 1 plus I by Ki. So that you can substitute here, or else what you can do is you can just mention V naught is equal to Vmax into S naught divided by Km plus S naught. So instead of Vmax divided by 1 plus I by Ki, you can write it V dash max. But you decide, in one corner you mentioned that what is Vmax? V dash max. V dash max means Vmax divided by 1 plus I by Ki. Now, your duty is, I hope now you got some idea of what is the equation for Michaeli-Menten equation for non-competitive inhibition. If they ask, what is the Michaeli-Menten equation for non-competitive inhibition? You have to write this equation, second equation, which I put it in the red box. So that equation you have to write it. That is V naught is equal to V dash max into S naught divided by Km plus S naught. This is the Michaeli-Menten equation for non-competitive inhibition, and you have to mention what is V naught. V naught means rate, the rate of velocity of a reaction. Km is Michaeli-Menten constant, and S, what you have to mention is S naught means substrate concentration, and V dash max is Vmax plus Vmax divided by 1 plus I by Ki. All those things you have to mention. What is there in the numerator, what is there in the denominator, all those things you have to name it properly. So because the same thing you can name it, what you name it in case of Michaeli-Menten equation. Same thing you can name it here also, but the thing is, only difference is V dash max. But I want you people to continue the equation. Then what you have to do is, you have to write Lineweaver-Burke equation. How to write Lineweaver-Burke equation for Michaeli-Menten equation? You just write the equation. Let me see. Write down the equations. Let it be exercise for At least let it be a big mathematical homework. So what you have to do is you have to reverse that equation. So you will get 1 by V naught is equal to Km by V max into S naught plus V max into S naught by S naught. So S naught will cancel each other. I hope in math, if you know the basic mathematics, what is there, if the things are same in the numerator and the denominator, you can cancel each other. You don't ask me why you can cancel each other. The mathematics is very difficult to answer why you can cancel each other. The biological system, you cannot cancel anything like that. If you cancel one thing, the person will die. So, but here it is possible to cancel something because in the maths it's a theoretical aspects. So 1 by V naught divided by Km by V dash max into 1 by S naught plus 1 by V dash max. That is the final equation. This is the Lineweaver equation for a non-competitive inhibition. So what you have to do here is, instead of V max, you have to write V dash max. And then you will get y is equal to mx plus c. So what is y is equal to mx plus c? It is the equation for a straight line. So why do we need a straight line in case of all the equations? So because if you want theoretically extraplot anything, you cannot extraplot with the help of rectangular hyperbolic curve, but you need a straight line. So straight line you can theoretically extraplot, and you can find out a little more impact of inhibitor, a little more impact of substrate on the enzymatic reaction. So that is possible here. So that's why this modification is there, LW or LB modifications. Lineweaver, LWB or LB modification, anything you can write it. So this modification you have to write it. So why I told you to write it? So then you will get a slope and intercept. Now you will get a slope and intercept for the non-competitive inhibitions. Now what I want is I'll ask someone to tell me what is the slope here. What is the slope here? If you plot a graph, 1 by V naught versus 1 by S naught. So what is the slope? X-axis is 1 by S naught. Y-axis is 1 by V naught. If you plot, y is equal to mx plus c. If you plot, what is the slope? So whom I'll ask? I'll ask Gautam. Gautam, can you unmute and tell me what is slope here? Gautam, are you there?
Hello, yes sir.
Yeah. Can you tell me this is because this is in the y is equal to mx plus c. M means slope.
Yeah, it's a straight line, sir.
Yes, it's a straight line. So what is the slope here in this equation? Equation which is mentioned in the blue, box.
That
equation is in the form of y is equal to mx plus c.
Yes.
Yeah. What is m here?
It's Km by V max.
Km by V max or Km by
V dash.
Yes, good. Km by V dash max. That thing you should remember. Instead of V max, it is V dash max. And what is the slope here? Slope.
It's
C is the slope. Y is equal to mx plus c. C is the slope. Then
1 by V dash max.
1 by V dash max. Good. So that means you understood what is how to convert equations, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we'll go further. You can mute yourself now.
Okay.
Now the important part of this reaction is you have to plot a graph now. That means a 1 by V naught versus 1 by S naught. So you might have seen mentioned it because this picture I copied from internet. So what happens? There they may be interchangeably using V naught and S naught. If you are mentioning V naught, you have to write S naught. So because initial velocity, when we tell our initial rate of reaction means the initial substrate concentration will consider. So you can write it without any doubt 1 by V naught versus 1 by S naught. That is the correct way of writing it. Or else if you write 1 by V naught versus 1 by S, it is not wrong. It is not wrong. No way it is wrong. But if you write it 1 by S naught, it is easy. So if you plot, what you will get a straight line. I have mentioned two straight lines. One is in red line and one in a blue color. One is a blue colored line and one is a red colored line. So the red one is, I already told, it is a double reciprocal plot. If you compare with this plot, this is not a double reciprocal plot. It's a normal plot. And but here it is a double reciprocal plot. You can see 0 here, where all the lines join, that is the 0. From 0, if you go further, that is decreasing. Double reciprocal plot, if it is going away from this, that is decreasing. So that's why the Vmax is decreased here. Vmax is decreased here. I hope you can understand. Vmax is decreased here. That is going away. You don't think Vmax is above and it should be high. No, it's Vmax is reduced, right? So it is less. And the slope is Km by V dash max. Intercept is 1 by V dash max. Here in case of reaction. But this one is same. Minus 1 by Km. There is no change in Km. So minus 1 by Km, and Km there is no change. That means affinity there is no change. If this line, that means in the y-axis, if it's coming closer to 0, that means increasing. If it's going away from the 0 in a double reciprocal plot, I'm thinking, telling, and not in the normal graph. Normal graph, if you go away from the 0, it is increasing. But in the double reciprocal plot, if you go away from the 0, it is decreasing. So it is decreased here. You can see increased here. Blue lines are increased. Red line, it is decreased. But there is no change in Km. So normal reaction, Km by Vmax is the slope, and 1 by Vmax is the intercept. In case of non-competitive inhibition, Km by V dash max is the slope, and 1 by V dash max is the intercept. So you should mention like this. Sometimes they'll ask for 2 marks. Or write the LB plot for a non-competitive inhibitions. That time you should remember 2 important things. One thing is there is no change in Km, there will be a change in Vmax. So Vmax is reduced. So Vmax is reduced means Vmax should come in the first. That means the first line should be a non-competitive inhibitor, and next line should be no inhibition or the normal reactions. Then you have to mention all those things: Km by V dash max, 1 by V dash max, 1 by V max, Km by V max. So slope, intercept, slope, intercept. Then you have to mention 1 by K, because that is the what you call the way you can represent a non-competitive inhibition without any mistake. So 1 by V naught versus 1 by S naught. If you plot, you will get a 2 straight line. One in the presence of inhibitor, one in the absence of inhibitor. In the presence of inhibitor, the Vmax is reduced and Km is same. In the absence of inhibitor, the Vmax there is no change, and Km is also there is no change. So same Km, same Vmax. So maximum reaction you can observe. But when you put inhibitor, the rate of reaction is reducing. That means the initial speed of the reaction is reducing. So this is the concept of non-competitive inhibition. I hope you understood what is non-competitive inhibition. Now we will move to the next concept, that is uncompetitive inhibitions. So in the first case, we studied about competitive inhibition. Second case, we studied about non-competitive inhibition. And third thing is uncompetitive. Competitive, non-competitive, uncompetitive. So you can remember like CNU. CNU, that format you can remember. Sometimes what happens, people by heart the thing, so they suddenly they'll get confused between non-competitive and uncompetitive. Last year we observed many people got confused between non-competitive and competitive. They'll write non-competitive for uncompetitive, uncompetitive for non-competitive. So for that purpose, I'm telling you, remember like CNU. So that format, competitive, non-competitive, and uncompetitive. In the in the competitive, there will be a competition. Uncompetitive, non-competitive, there is no competition because separate side. But here it is little different. What happens? See here, an uncompetitive inhibitor is an inhibitor that only binds to the enzyme substrate complex. There, in case of non-competitive, inhibitor can directly go and bind enzyme. No need of forming the substrate. But here, this is the important thing. The enzyme substrate complex, once it is formed, only inhibitor can bind. So that point you should remember here. It cannot bind to naked enzyme. It cannot bind to naked enzyme, but it can bind only to enzyme substrate complex. So the formation of its binding site only when enzyme substrate interacts. When enzyme substrate interacts, the new site will open. That site where the inhibitor will bind. If no interaction between enzyme substrate, that site won't open, so inhibitor cannot bind. So because of that, what happens? There will be a change in Vmax, there will be a change in Km. That means there will be Km is lower, there will be Vmax will be lower. That means a substrate affinity towards enzyme will be lower, initial maximum velocity will be lower. So In case of uncompetitive inhibitor or inhibition, the enzyme substrate complex should form. Due to the enzyme substrate complex formation, the new site will be exposed, that site where the inhibitor will bound. Once the inhibitor is bound, the Vmax and Km will be lower. Both the things will be lower. In first case, there is no change. The second case, Vmax is reduced. In the third case, the Vmax and Km are lower. I hope in the first case, what will happen? Can anyone unmute and tell me, in case of competitive inhibition, what is happening? Whether Vmax and Km changes or nothing will happen there. I will ask Soumya. Soumya, can you unmute and tell me any changes will happen in Vmax and Km in case of competitive inhibition?
Hello.
Soumya? Yeah, Soumya, are you there?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you tell me, in competitive inhibition, is there any change in Vmax and Km?
Sir, about competitive inhibition, I'm not sure, but for non-competitive, Km is constant and Vmax is reduced. But
yeah. I just wanted to, yeah. Okay. For Soumya, it is not clear about competitive. Someone else who is voluntarily can answer, or else you can put in the chat box also. No problem.
Sir.
Yeah.
For competitive, Km increases and Vmax is same.
Vmax is same, the Km is?
Increasing.
Km is increasing. Okay. So, when the thing is, here what is happening, I hope you remember all those things, whatever. I may make mistakes or I may tell wrong, but the thing is, you should understand it properly. When I tell Km is lowered, the Km is lowered means affinity is more or less. Km is lowered means affinity is more. When Km is increased means the affinity is less. All those things you should remember. When I talk about Km, the important thing is it talks about the affinity. When Km is more, affinity is less. When Km is lower, affinity will be changed. So all those things you should remember. So here Vmax is changed, Km is lower. So that means initial maximum velocity lower, but there will be no change. There will be change in Km. So because Km is lower, the affinity will be more. So that's why I'm telling this. This is the work done by the inhibitor. So for the inhibitor, it needs a site. What it does is it makes the enzyme substrate complex formation faster. When enzyme substrate complex formation is faster means inhibitor will get a more site to bind. So it's a work done by the inhibitor. So the example is inhibition of acetylcholine esterase. Acetylcholine esterase, I hope you remember what is that. Acetylcholine esterase is the enzyme found in the your nerve system, which is very essential to break acetylcholine and which is needed for the communication of all those things. The signals in the system, all those things I hope you remember, which is inhibited by tertiary amines. If you consume tertiary amine, if you inject tertiary amine, which will inhibit acetylcholine esterase in the uncompetitive manner. So uncompetitive manner example is acetylcholine esterase inhibition by a tertiary amine. So here Vmax and Km are lowered and it has to form enzyme on substrate complex. So in case of competitive inhibition, Km will increase and there is no change in Vmax. The second case, that is non-competitive, Km there is no change, Vmax will be lower. In the third case, there will be less Vmax and less Km. That means affinity is high and in enzyme initial rate of a reaction is low. So we'll go further. So in the picture you can see here I have mentioned the first case, enzyme inhibitor, no enzyme inhibitor complex formation. I mentioned here it cannot form. But when enzyme substrate complex forms, inhibitor site is open, which I mentioned the blue circle you can see. Inhibitor site is open, so it can form enzyme substrate inhibitor complex. So enzyme substrate inhibitor complex. Enzyme plus substrate will form enzyme substrate, which will form enzyme plus a product. So, but here the reaction is, in case of non-competitive, you see the enzyme is binding with inhibitor, but here it is not possible. You can see enzyme substrate is binding with inhibitor and it is forming enzyme substrate inhibitor complex. Enzyme substrate inhibitor complex. So, only when enzyme substrate complex forms, inhibitor can bind, but not in the naked enzyme case. what is happening here if you plot the graph? If you plot a graph of V naught versus S naught, you can see here. So there is a change in Vmax. So in the first case, in the red line I mentioned no inhibitions, there is a high Vmax. But in case of uncompetitive inhibition, you can see a low Vmax. There is a huge difference in the Vmax. That means initial maximum velocity. At the same time, there is a change in Km. In the normal reaction, you can see high Km. In the what you call non-uncompetitive inhibition, there is a lower Km. So there is a high Km, there is a lower Km. That difference you should notify. Don't put it as the same Km. So there will be a reduced Km here. I hope now it is clear for you. If it is a low Km, means affinity will be high. But you may be confused now. Sir is telling that there is a Km is lower, affinity is more, then how it is inhibiting. But here it is a necessity of the uncompetitive inhibitor to form enzyme substrate complex. It has to form, otherwise inhibitor cannot act there. That is a molecular modification inhibitor is doing. When inhibitor is doing like this, so this is possible in the presence of inhibitor. That is the work of an inhibitor in the molecular system. So that is increasing the affinity of enzymes to the substrate. It forms enzyme substrate complex. Once it is formed, enzyme substrate inhibitor complex. So Km is reduced and the normal reaction Km is more. But the Vmax is normal here, normal reaction. But here Vmax is reduced. That means initial maximum velocity reaching capacity of the enzyme substrate inhibitor complex cannot reach up to the mark. That's the important thing. Initial maximum velocity, it cannot reach. That's an important point you should remember. Km lowering means, you don't worry, Km lower means, low Km means high affinity. That point you should remember. So, now also the same thing, what you have done for non-competitive, in case of uncompetitive, so you have to take a Lineweaver equation. But here one difference is, both are changing here. Km is also changing, Vmax is also changing. So instead of Vmax, you have to write V dash max. Instead of Km, you dash K dash M. So K dash M we call apparent Km. So genuinely you can say Km as apparent Km. V dash max, you can call it as apparent Vmax, but generally we don't call it as apparent Vmax. We call it as a V dash max. But K dash M, they generally call it as a Km because Km is more significant in, the way to represent the enzyme, the enzymatic reaction, that's the Vmax. So Km is necessary to attain Vmax. That's the important thing. If affinity, no affinity means you cannot attain a Vmax in, that means initial maximum velocity in case of enzymatic reaction. So the prime important thing is Km than the Vmax. If Km is proper means, so it will attain Vmax. There is no doubt about it. But Km is replaced with K dash M, V dash or Vmax is replaced with V dash. In the red box I have put it. This is the equation for uncompetitive inhibition. That is a Michaeli-Menten equation for uncompetitive inhibition. But at the same time, you have to mention what is K dash M. K dash M is equal to Km divided 1 plus I by Ki. V dash max is equal to Vmax divided 1 plus I by Ki. This thing you have to mention. They may ask for 2 marks. And then you have to mention these 2 things. What is the abbreviated form for this? Or else you can write if V dash max means what. So if you take this equation and if you reverse this, you will get a Lineweaver-Burke equations that I have put it in the red, this thing. But you can see there is a one difference. Here slope is Km by Vmax, but slope is not K dash M by Vmax. Why it is like this? So why this is like this? You can do a simple mathematics and tell me why the slope is not K dash M by V dash max in the final equation when you substitute all the things. Why it is Km by Vmax in case of uncompetitive inhibition. So here also same thing, we are taking, here slope is Km by Vmax, intercept is 1 by V dash max. So 1 by V naught, if you plot against 1 by S naught, you will get this graph. So this graph clearly says there is an increase, whether it's increase Km or decrease Km. It is decrease Km, there is a decrease, there is a low Vmax. That means when you go away from 0 in double reciprocal plot, you can see Vmax is lowering and Km is also lowering. So in the pink line, I mentioned uncompetitive inhibitor. In the red line, in the black line, I mentioned no inhibitors are the normal reaction. So slope is same for both. Why it is slope is same, I mentioned here. that you have to tell me. Now, who will tell me now? Who, you can take 1 or 2 minutes. You can do that mathematical simplification. I feel the simplification. What you can do is a k dash m can be substituted by km by 1 plus I naught I by ki. V dash max, if you substitute by V max divided by 1 plus I by ki, what happens? This thing will cancel each other. When the 1 plus I by ki cancel with 1 plus I by ki, remaining thing is km by V max. That's why the slope is km by V max instead of k dash m by V dash max. If you do it with help of on paper, you can understand it clearly. So if you plot 1 by V naught versus 1 by S naught, or 1 by V versus 1 by S, you will get two straight lines, one in the absence of inhibitor, one in the presence of inhibitor. In the presence of inhibitor, Km is lowered, V max is lowered. So you have to mention 1 by K dash M, 1 by Km. K dash M is same, but the slope, there is a problem, it's Km by V max, but instead of K dash M by V max. I hope if any mistakes, you have to notify in this slide. In these slides, I hope you understood many things. I might have made some mistakes here purposefully. You have to tell me in the next class if I made any mistakes in the slides. You go through the slides. This slide, the last slide, if you want, you can take a snapshot of this slide and tell me, is there any mistake in this slide? If mistakes are there, means you just tell me in the next class. Any mistakes, because my intention is you people just should understand this instead of just by hearting and writing. If you understand this is very easy, so you should know the relationship between Km and Vmax. If it is Vmax is lowered or increased or decreased, all those concepts you should understand. That's why I put the last slide. I don't know whether I made any mistakes. I don't know. You have to tell me, because now you are good in enzymology or the kinetics of enzymatic reactions. So now we can understand some basic concepts. So anyone take a snapshot of this, then a screenshot of this, keep it and tell me whether this reaction, what I mentioned here, it is correct. And you know now what is a Lineweaver equation for uncompetitive, competitive, all those things. You can simplify the equation. I can tell me in the next class if there are any mistakes in this one. If it is mistakes are there, means I will tell you in the next class how to modify that mistake. If no mistakes, means we will accept as it is. This is a universal phenomenon.